Hey guys, it's your girl Vanessa Somuayina. Welcome back to my channel and thank you guys all for tuning in again. So there are 4 groups in this reading and I want you to pick your group intuitively. So feel free to pause the video on the 4 groups and really just meditate on the cards so you can make sure that you make the right choice for you. Also, I just wanted to put out there that you could kind of feel like drawn to 2 groups, and this is something completely normal because your specific reading could be a mixture of the 2 groups. So if that is the case, feel free to watch 2 groups or 3 groups, or if you feel like you're just vibing with the whole thing, you can watch the whole video. But yeah, if you feel strongly drawn towards one group, that is great. So timestamps will be down below, so you can just click the timestamps and fast forward to the group you want to watch. So you guys, before I move on to the reading, I just wanted to genuinely thank you guys for all your sweet comments and amazing feedback on my last readings. I really love reading your inputs and how you feel. I just wanted to put that out there before I get into the reading. So now that it's out, let's get straight into it. Welcome to today's reading. I just wanted to remind you guys that my readings can be a little bit chaotic, so I'm sorry about that. I apologize. But anyways, I want to get straight into group number 1. Okay, so group number 1. So instinctively, I see that you may not want to hear this right now, but I see that you can't make a decision right now if this person is the one or not, because I see that you need to decide to remain complacent for a little bit. So the hangman is upside down, just hanging in this spot, but you can see he's not stressed out. It's his choice. So I can see here that you might be thinking, it's time to make a decision and it's time to sort of move forward, but really it's not. I don't see that for you here. I see that you need to remain complacent. You need to just stay where you are right now. Don't make a decision whether this person is the right one for you yet or not, just because I just don't see that that's a good idea. So then we also have strength. So with strength, I always find that the strength card is more about you than other people. So it's more about, true strength is about accepting someone fully in how they are, and that also means accepting yourself rather than just tolerating them. And strength is also your spiritual side. So I can see here that you need to develop your spiritual side a lot more. You need to develop that strength to fully love and accept yourself first before you can make a decision on someone else. And also what I can see in the reading is that for some reason, you need to heal. Something about you, there's a part of you that is tired, there's a part of you that might have been wounded, and there's a part of you that should remain in the past before you make this decision. So before you will know whether he or she is the one, think of snake spirit being your guide right now. And you know how snakes need to shed in order to grow? They need to shed their skins in order to grow. That is something that I see that you need to do. There's an outer layer of you right now that is rough, it's worn out, it's tough, and it's kind of preventing from being able to see whether this person is truly for you or not. Because it could be that with the layer that you have on right now, it could be that you're fully compatible, but it also could be that, once you shed this layer, once you shed this skin, this old side of you, it could be that all of a sudden everything changes. So snake spirit tells me that you kind of need to open up more. You need to be more honest, and you need to be yourself. And I want you to be, how should I say? I want you to be unapologetic. Unapologetic was the word I was looking for. I want you to be unapologetically you. I want you to, just like a snake, shed that old skin that isn't you anymore and grow into the new you. And the new you, the new skin, so to say, that you're gonna show, that's gonna be exposed, it might be like tender and weird at first, so to say, but I want you not to be afraid, because knowing whether he or she is the one depends on you shedding this layer that is still on you spiritually, mentally, and that is when you'll be able to make a decision. So I see in your reading that it's really about you. And also I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, I can see that there is something very earthly about this situation. So there are worries about, you know, maybe financially, if this is the right move, if this person is the one or not. It could either be on your end or on the person's end. Also, I see that time is a commodity, and I see that time, you value your time. You're a very kind and loving person, but at the same time, you value your time and you want to make that decision, and being in the Hanged Man position right now is driving you kind of nuts. You want to make your decision, but I'm telling you right now that I feel for you, you really need to take time to heal, just like Snake Spirit suggests. And also I see in the Queen of Wands, she's very intuitive. The Queen of Wands is a very wise woman. She's very straightforward, charismatic, but also she's kind of like no BS. So I see here that there is someone in your life that I feel like you should consult while you're playing the Hanged Man and just remaining complacent until you have all the little bits and pieces to make this decision, whether he or she is the one for you. So the Queen of Wands for me, that obviously a mother figure is the first thing that I think of. The other thing could also be, you know, a father figure, someone like a male personality in your life who is very forward thinking, who isn't afraid to tell you their opinion, whether you like it or not. That is the kind of person I see that you need to consult right now. That is the kind of person who I see will give you the right advice that you need in order to make an informed decision, in order to really feel out whether this person is right for you, whether he or she is the one or not. So definitely consult somebody in your life who is very intuitive and will just tell you the truth. I think that's the most important thing. You want that truthful opinion. I feel like this opinion right here, I feel like it will give you a whole new view of your situation. I don't know exactly what kind of situation you're in right now or how exactly it is that you're feeling, but I can see that you're gonna open up to this person, and the advice that you're gonna get, the other viewpoint, is going to be so valuable to making this decision, to coming to a conclusion whether this person is the one or not. So don't be afraid to open up. That's something that I see that you need to do. You need to open up and don't be embarrassed about your feelings, you know. I can see that you need time to heal before you can make this decision. I can see that you want to make a decision. It screams like you want to make a decision. You want to make up your mind. You want to know what's going on. But it's just not right yet. So I know your skin may be crawling, you may want to move forward, but I can see that you really need to take a moment to yourself now. This reading is really more about you rather than making the decision. So really embrace that strength in yourself. Love and appreciate yourself for who you are relentlessly. Don't be ashamed of who you are. Make sure that you fully love yourself. You know, say it to yourself. I love myself. There's nothing embarrassing about that. So for your reading as a whole, I really think you should embrace Snake Spirit. Take time to heal and shed that outer layer that we were talking about. Shed that little piece of you that you know you've outgrown, and grow into this new person. And then you'll be able to see clearly and to revisit the question of whether he or she is the right one for you or not. Okay. So group number 2 here. So we have the Six of Wands, the Moon, we have the World. God, this is a beautiful reading actually. And the Three of Cups and Spider Spirit. And you guys, don't be bothered too much by the animal you picked and how you feel about them generally. I mean, I don't love spiders either. It's about the spirit. It's about what the animal resembles. So don't worry about that too much. But anyways, group number 2. First of all, I see there's a lot going on with other people here. I see there's a lot of well-rounded, amazing relationships. I feel like this is a good time for you to be asking whether he or she is the right one for me or not. So I like to start, I don't know why I always like to start with the first card, but the 6 of Wands, I just instinctively see that on your journey to figuring out whether he or she is the right one for you, I see that you have so many strong supporters behind you, and you may not even know it. You have a lot of people giving you support, and you're not going to stand alone through this. So I'm seeing that you may be afraid that if you decide that this person is not right for you, I feel like you're worried that some of your friends, some of the people in your life will get up and leave, and you might be standing alone. But I see that that's not going to be the case. I feel like you're underestimating how many people really have your back, whether he or she is the one for you or not. I can see that you might be afraid of losing certain people, and the advice I have for you is let them go. I mean, what are friends like that good for anyways? What are relationships like that good for anyways? You want people who are going to support you, whether this person is right for you or not. So I see that you might be worried about how people see this relationship, how other people feel about you thinking that he or she is right or not. And that is not something you want to get too deep into, because other people's opinions don't really matter. This is your life, this is your relationship. Also with the moon, I see that there's a lot of mystery in your reading. There's a lot going on that is unanswered. There's a lot going on that is unclear right now. And I want you to keep in mind that you need to clarify those things. When I see the moon, I see there's a lot of mystical stuff, but it could be negative. So there may be a lot of things going on in the background that you never thought were really happening, or you knew there were little dark spots that are just missing in your puzzle to make a decision. And now is the time to really dig deep. Ask questions. Make sure that you're straightforward. Ask yourself, is this really for me or not? And if there's something that you're not sure of with that person, if you feel like, oh, this person is perfect, if it just wasn't for this little piece of information that I'm missing. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you guys a really trivial little example. So if you feel really strongly about traveling the world, and the person in question, he or she, you don't know how they feel about it, but that is just something that you need to know. Ask those questions. And if there's a clashing point between you and that person that will be difficult to overcome, I feel like maybe he or she is not the one for you, because you want to make your dreams real. So you might have been in a relationship with this person, whether long-term or short-term, and you've been feeling like you're putting your dream on the back burner. You feel like you've started weaving your dream web a little bit, like your web of dreams a little bit, but this person is slowing you down, and it's just sort of not working out. So you need to remember that you're the only one who can make your dreams real. And if the mystery, and if this person is just not opening up to you enough and just not giving you the side of them that you so desperately want and need, just forget about it. Honestly, forget about it, because it's just a waste of your time. Because I see here that with the world, there is so much fulfillment in your life. There's so many amazing things going on. The 3 of Cups, your relationships are flourishing. It is amazing. You know what I mean? You have amazing relationships in your life. So I see that if he or she is not satisfying you spiritually on an emotional level, I feel let go, because make your dreams come real. And at the same time, I see completion for you. I see a well-rounded situation where overall you have things going for you. The thing is just, do you see it, or are you so focused on whether he or she is right for you? And that's the thing with the mystery. I feel like whenever there's mystery in the card, for me, it's kind of like a bit more, like it's a difficult card, okay? Because I feel like there are things going on that you should know of that you still don't know of. And is that really a good foundation in a relationship? To me, it doesn't sound like it makes a good foundation in a relationship. It doesn't sound like there's trustworthiness. So if you can't resolve the questions that are still open about this person, I see that you need to move on because you have so many amazing, fantastic things going on for you. So I know your reading was a little bit all over the place, but that is the essence. So if you can't make your dreams real with this person, if you can't figure them out to the little nitty gritty that you need to know in order for you to make that decision, whether they're the one or not, if they're not letting you in, I feel like you should just let go, because I can see that you're someone, you put a lot of effort in, you really try. You're someone who is, how should I say, who will give someone more chances than they actually deserve. And you don't want to waste your time for too long doing that, because there's so many amazing things going on around you. Your relationships are flourishing, and also I see you have a lot of amazing people in your life that will stand behind you no matter what decision you make. So that is what I have for group number 2. Group number 3. Okay, so for group number 3, we have the 8 of Cups, the King of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and Pig Spirit. Okay, so overall, the vibe I'm getting in this reading is that there are a lot of emotions just flying all over the place. Okay, we have cups in this reading, a lot of cups. Cups are emotions. They're like, they kind of represent the womb a little bit. You know, it's an emotional situation for you right now. Deciding whether he or she is the one is not something that you're taking lightly. You're taking this very seriously. And I see you're someone who's very loving and nurturing, but at the same time, I feel like you're not up for games right now. So something that I see here is Pig Spirit just like pops out instantly, and not just because Pig Spirit is so cute. Use your mind wisely. So that is something that I see for you. Whether he or she is right for you or not, that doesn't matter so much. The most important thing for you is that you use your mind wisely, is that you use the knowledge that you have in this situation, and that you really tap into things that you maybe don't want to tap into. You know, when things seem a certain way, sometimes we like to tell ourselves that they're different just to make ourselves feel better. That's something I want you to avoid. I want you to use your intelligence. I want you to use it along with love and compassion. And also I want you to see, you know, how valuable it is that you have your intuition. So pair that up with your common sense, and that will already open up a lot for you. I feel like maybe you have not been making as much use of your intuition along with your common sense and your intelligence as you could have been, because I can see that you're a very intelligent person. You're a very intuitive person. You just need to open your mind up. You just need to free your soul a little bit. I see that you might be a little clogged right now. I see that this situation might be really weighing on you, and you've definitely thought of just leaving everything behind and maybe just moving on. You've definitely thought maybe he or she isn't right, because I can see here in the 8 of Cups, you feel like maybe the situation, you've already gotten everything out of this situation that you thought you were gonna get, and you feel like maybe it's time for you to move on. You feel like this is that there's no point, is what I'm trying to say. So what I see is that you want to use your mind wisely and make sure that you're open-minded and have those dialogues. Okay, I see in the 2 of Cups, relationships are important, especially with people who are close to us, people who care about us. So somebody who doesn't have to do with the person in question, so this can be your mom, your dad, your best friend, your cousin, talk to them about how you feel. Talk to them about whether he or she is the right one, because I see here that there's a very strong bond, there's a beautiful relationship in your life, and I really want you to tap into that and to make use of it. Because at the same time, with the King of Pentacles, I can see that there might have been a situation where you feel like he or she may or may not be the one, out of earthly sort of reasons. Like you're leaning towards the person being the one or not being the one based on like material things, you know, based on finances, jobs, appearances. I see, you know, maybe for a shallow reason you feel like it might or might not work out. And also time. I can see that maybe you feel like this person lives very far away, or that just the distance is too much, and that's why you feel like maybe you've already gotten everything that you could out of the situation. So I see that earthly things, commodities, material things are kind of bugging you in this situation, okay? I can see that those things are in the way. Also, I can see a very, very sort of cutthroat personality, and that it might be you, it might not be you, but I'm thinking it's you. So with the Queen of Swords, I just see someone who is decisive, someone who communicates, but someone who also has a sharp tongue if they need to. And for some reason, I'm really resonating with the fact that this is maybe you. Make sure that you use your mind wisely, because the last thing you want to do is to hurt this relationship too soon. The last thing you want to do is make a decision way too hastily. And for instance, say, you know, you're thinking, oh, maybe I should just move on. Meanwhile, if you would have just waited it out and sort of weighed whether these earthly things are really that much of, you know, a burden or not, maybe if you would have just used your mind wisely, you would have come to a different answer, to a different conclusion. So something that I see here is you want to give a fair chance. Something that I definitely see in you is that you may not have given this person enough chances or a fair chance or enough time to prove themselves, and you kind of want an answer right now. But I feel like you need to give this person a little bit more time. You need to give them a few more chances to really prove themselves to you. And then definitely, you know, move in with your intuition and your intelligence and your common sense. That pig spirit is there to guide you. So make sure that once you've given that person like enough time to sort of settle in the situation, make sure that you use all of the attributes that you have, all the intelligence that you have are right there between your ears. Make sure you use that to make the informed decision. Don't let emotions overrule your intelligence. So that's definitely something that I see. There's a lot of emotional stuff going on for you, but what I ultimately want you to do is to just use your mind wisely. I want you to make use of your intelligence, make use of your intuition, and, you know, make sure that you make that informed decision and you're content with it. You know whether he or she is right or not. You have that deep within you, and, you know, once you know, you just know. Group number 4, Knight of Cups, the Chariot, the Page of Swords, the Hermit, and Dove Spirit. So what I see here is that I feel like you're a very sweet and creative kind of person. You might at times be very withdrawn. That's what the Hermit shows me. You might sometimes like keep to yourself, and you might not be able to say how you really feel, or you might not want to say how you feel to people because you're worried about hurting their feelings. You're worried about, you know, rubbing someone the wrong way. So I feel like you keep a lot bottled up on the inside, and you keep a lot of things to yourself. And that's just because you're just a nice person, honestly. That's just what I see, is that you're a very nice person. But at the same time, you know, the Knight of Cups, I see that you still, like all knights, I feel like you focus very intensely on goals. You know exactly what you want, and you're like a go-getter. You know what you want, and you focus on your goals. So just because you're withdrawn and you like to keep to yourself, that doesn't mean that you're not goal-oriented. It doesn't mean that you don't go for things that you want. It just means that, you know, you might be more of a loner, kind of quiet person. And, you know, even people who can be the life of the party in situations, they can still be that person who just needs to be alone sometimes, who just needs to withdraw, and who just likes to have a day to themselves, to just be in solitude. So that's what I can really see here with the Hermit. But one thing that I'm worried about here, and, you know, also in your decision making on whether he or she is right for you or not, is that too much solitude, too much of you just being by yourself with your thoughts may lead to you overthinking. And overthinking, you know how easily overthinking can turn into a very sort of negative thought process, and that's something that I fear for you here, and that's something that I don't want to happen, because it may cloud your judgment on whether he or she is right for you. So, you know, if you can't instinctively feel that this person is right for me or not right for me, I don't think that you should constantly go over it and mull over it in solitude, because you may start freaking yourself out. So I know that that's something that I personally do a lot. Like, when I think about something too much, I think about all the possible scenarios, and I see you being that kind of person too. Like, I see that you're very in tune with your emotions, but you can also be overly emotional. So you may be freaking out about what if scenarios. You might be thinking, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I decide, you know, that this person is the one, and then they turn out to be a completely different person? And I just see a lot of thoughts flowing, a lot of things that could go wrong if you just keep things bottled up inside. So what I see for you is that you should talk to other people. You should open up, talk to the person in question. So I don't feel like you necessarily need to go out of your way, because I see that you are an intelligent, like, well-rounded person. I feel like you can make a decision on your own. You don't need someone else's opinion. But talk to the person in question. Talk to he or she that you're thinking, you know, is this person the one? Talk to them and see how they respond. Then also with the Chariot, I see, you know, you have a lot of skills here, okay? You have a lot of skills, and I don't know if you're either in your work, if you're really good at it, or, you know, if there's a different kind of skill. I see that you might be a creative person who is, say, good musically, or just overall a very creative person. It doesn't need to be in the arts, but I can see that you have a lot of skills that you're good at, and I see that you need to put them to use. I see that this is a time where you being creative and you flourishing will help you make a decision. I see that this is a time where you being creative and you flourishing, and, you know, just you being yourself and making use of all of the skills that you have, all of the things that are amazing about you, I feel like that will really help you make that informed decision. So I feel like you need to open up a little more to who it is that is in question, and see if they appreciate those skills that you have. And that, my friend, is going to be the indicator on whether he or she is right or not. If they appreciate your skills, appreciate what you're good at, and you as a person for who you are, that is a good indicator that he or she is the one. However, if they remain silent, or like even kind of shun you, or you're just getting like an off vibe, he or she is not the right one for you. So with the Page of Swords, I see that, you know, there's like a young person involved. I mean, you guys could both be young people, you and the person in question. This could be the person that is in question who is involved. And I see that, you know, I just see someone taking on new ideas. The Page of Swords also shows me that there could be some gossip going on. So the reason why you may not be able to make your mind up or not could be gossip, or for me, gossip is also kind of social media. So what you see on social media could influence your decision. So I see that whether he or she is the one, you may have heard some gossip about them or seen things on their social media that are still a question mark to you. You're still not sure what is going on there, and it's kind of bugging you, and you feel like you can't make your decision because of these things. One thing that I want you to do is to tune into Dove Spirit, because you need to be at peace, okay? Social media is around now and it's not going anywhere, and everyone has social media and there's nothing you can do about it. So if there's something that you're not liking, if there's a message that you're seeing here, some sort of gossip that you're not into, you need to get over it and be at peace with yourself and the situation. And you need to know that you can't cancel this person out just because of that. Making a decision based on whether, you know, on gossip is not the right thing to do. So I can see that there are other influences, like outside influences. So the person in question, he or she in question, that you're trying to find out whether he or she is the right one for you, I can see that they're giving you consistent messages, but you're getting inconsistencies from outside. So be it from gossip or from social media. And I want you to know that it's important for you to be at peace with the fact that, you know, social media is just social media and gossip is just gossip. You still need to make your own decision, and you need to think for yourself. You need to talk to this person and make your own picture of what your future may be like. You need to make your own decision on whether this person is right or not. So if you've been having any influence from anyone but yourself, I think you strongly need to just shut that out and just listen to your intuition and your feelings. So overall for your reading, I see a very mellow vibe. I'm kind of tending towards, you know, I feel like you need to be at peace, but at the same time, there's kind of gossip going on, so I can't really put my finger on what it is. I kind of have the feeling that this reading may not be in favor for the person in question. But what I feel is a deciding factor for you to decide whether this person is the right one or not is definitely, I see the Chariot being very important, because you want to see, do they support you wholeheartedly? Do they see in you what you see in yourself? Do they see all the great qualities and skills about you? Do they see what you're good at? Or are they only interested in you, like physically? Are they only interested in how you look? Are they only interested in what they can get out of you? So that's something that I see for your reading that is important to figure out whether he or she is right or not, to really look into why they're in your life and what they're mostly interested in. And just figure out what mostly interests them about you. Is it you or is it something else? Okay, you guys, so that was today's reading. I hope you liked it and I hope you found it insightful and helpful. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys in my next reading.